Let us pray. Praise be to you, Almighty God, Creator of the universe and all that is in it. We thank you, O loving Father, for the opportunity which you are giving us to increase our knowledge. May your divine grace enable us to work hard and use what we learn for the good of our fellow citizens. We pray that you will free us from selfishness, lust, greed, anger, and hatred. Warm our hearts with love, fill our minds with understanding, and strengthen our wills in the face of all difficulties. Help us, O merciful Father, to make our beloved country of Trinidad and Tobago the kind of place you want it to be, a place where human dignity is respected, where equal rights are accorded to all citizens, where hard work is encouraged and rewarded, and where you, O God, reign supreme. Minister of Education, Dr. the Honorable Michael Dowlett, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education, Ms. Simone Williams, Chief Education Officer, Dr. Peter Smith, educational stakeholders, participants, good afternoon, and welcome to today's webinar session. We are delighted to have such a group of dedicated individuals joining us for this important discussion on the laptop distribution policies and procedures, which forms part of the Form 1 Students' Laptop Initiative Rollout 2025. As we embrace new technology in our schools, this discussion is absolutely essential, not just for understanding the contract and its requirements. To officially open today's session, we are honored to welcome a leader whose vision and commitment continues to drive innovation across our nation's schools. It is therefore my privilege to welcome the Chief Education Officer of the Ministry of Education, Dr. Peter Smith, to share a few words of encouragement in support of parents and students as they navigate the digital learning environment. Dr. Peter Smith, we welcome you.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you to today's laptop distribution sensitization session. Thank you for taking the time to be here and for your continued partnership as we work to ensure that our students and teachers are equipped for success in a technology-driven education system. Today's session has two important purposes. First, we will walk you through the laptop contract in a clear and transparent way. It is essential that all stakeholders fully understand the responsibilities, care expectations, and conditions of use that accompany these devices. The laptops are a major investment, one that supports teaching, learning, and digital literacy. And it is our shared duty to protect that investment so that it benefits our students for years to come. Second, we will outline the procedure for the distribution day. A smooth, well-organized process is key to ensuring that every eligible student receives their device without delays or confusion. This includes the flow of registration, verification of documentation, signing and submission of contracts, and the safe handover of the devices. Today's briefing will ensure that each school is prepared, knowledgeable, and confident in managing these steps. As we move forward, I want to emphasize that this initiative is more than a distribution exercise. It is part of our broader commitment to expanding access, strengthening digital learning, and supporting our educators and learners in meaningful, sustainable ways. Your cooperation and leadership at the school level and at the parental level are essential to achieving this. Once again, thank you for your attendance and participation. I look forward to a productive session and to working with you as we continue to improve the learning experience of every child in Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Smith, for positioning the objectives of today's webinar within the broader objectives of the Ministry of Education and challenging us to think critically about the information that will be shared today. Participants, I am Tisha Laris Sagam, Teacher Education Specialist in the Teacher Education Performance and Professional Development Division at the Ministry of Education. Thank you for joining the Ministry this afternoon for today's installment of the sensitization session in the Learning Without Limits, a Laptop for Every Child initiative. My role today is to support the smooth flow of the session, guide any discussions, and ensure that your questions are addressed. Our goal is to create an informative, engaging, and enriching learning experience. Before we begin, I invite you to take a moment to review the agenda. It will serve as your guide throughout the session and help you follow along with today's discussion. I'm truly excited to be here with you and look forward to a dynamic and meaningful session. Stay engaged, stay curious. Let us explore and understand the contract agreement together. Firstly, let us go through the webinar netiquette guidelines, and I will remind you of how to effectively use the features of Microsoft Teams. Please use the Q&A feature to ask relevant questions or to provide feedback. Keep your questions clear, concise, and relevant to the topic. Avoid spamming or posting duplicate questions. Pay attention to any guidelines shared during the webinar, including how and when to use the Q&A forum. Please remain respectful in all interactions. Let us maintain a positive and professional environment. To use the Q&A feature on Teams, locate the Q&A icon in the toolbar. Click it to open the chat panel. Type your question clearly and hit send. Our Q&A moderators will review your question and either respond directly in the chat or forward it to the presenters. Thank you for adhering to these guidelines, which will help us ensure a smooth and productive session. To guide us through this important topic, it is my pleasure to introduce our presenter, Dr. Carla Kronberg. As the manager of the Teacher Education Performance and Professional Development Division, Dr. Kronberg plays a pivotal role in shaping the professional growth of our nation's educators. Under her leadership, the division continues to champion initiatives that strengthen teacher training and development, recognizing that a skilled and supported workforce is essential to student success and sustainable education reform. This evening, Dr. Kronberg joins us to share critical updates on the laptop program and clarify the roles and responsibilities of parents and students. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Carla Kronberg.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure this afternoon to discuss with you the laptop initiative. Let us begin by situating this initiative into the larger context. This initiative is a part of the government of Trinidad and Tobago's digital transformation strategy, which includes the transformation of all citizens into 21st century citizens. It involves providing laptops to students that are high performing, the use of information and data to improve teaching and learning, the inclusion of AI-assisted tools for personal learning in the classroom, and to orient stakeholders to device policy. I just want to spend a couple of minutes reminding you about the goals of this initiative, Learning Without Limits, a laptop for every child. One of the goals of this initiative is, of course, to increase student achievement. And to do so, a laptop will be used, which will be integrated into teaching and learning in the classroom. There will be tools on the laptop to help students learn and grow and develop. Included in the tools would be personalized AI tools, which will allow for personalized learning and teaching. The goal, of course, is to develop our students into 21st century learners, students who have collaboration and communication skills, who are digital citizens and have digital literacy, who are creative and innovative, and who are critical thinkers. Let's talk a little bit about understanding the contract. Just some information that is very important for understanding the contract. The laptop at all time is the property of the Ministry of Education. The device is provided to students as a loan. The agreement, which we will talk about this afternoon, is an agreement between the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Education and the parent or guardian of the child. The parent or guardian of the child is required to sign the contract in duplicate, and all members of staff, teachers, and administrators are expected to assist in the distribution of the laptops so that it can be done smoothly and efficiently. So let's talk about the parties involved. There is, of course, the Permanent Secretary, who is the representative of the Ministry of Education, and the Permanent Secretary is responsible for setting and maintaining educational standards and compliance. The parent and or guardian would be responsible for ensuring that students use laptops in appropriate ways. And of course, the principal and teachers within the school would be responsible for ensuring the smooth running of the delivery process. We know you parents play an important role, and part of your role is that of care and responsibility for use of the laptop. So we've been talking about this in our sessions, and I just want to remind you about this responsibility. It involves the proper care of the laptop, using the laptop appropriately. It involves ensuring there are no digital threats on the device, and that involves cybersecurity. And of course, it ensures that our students use the laptops safely by managing such things as screen time. I want us to spend a little time on the contract agreement so that you know, as parents, the terms and conditions of the laptop use. So on the contract, one of the first things you will see is the parties involved in the laptop agreement. And I'll read it for you so that you will be able to understand. This agreement is made in duplicate on this day, and the day that will be there is the day assigned for the distribution of the laptop between Mr. Claudel McKellar, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education, Education Towers, number 5, St. Vincent Street, Port-of-Spain, hereafter referred to as the MOE of the one part, and of course parent or guardian, you will put your name there and where you are from, hereafter referred to as the parent or guardian of the other part. The Ministry of Education, in ensuring equitable access to education, has procured high-performance laptop devices equipped with AI-enabled learning tools for the delivery of Learning Without Limits, a laptop for every child initiative. And in the contract, you will see the words, the initiative, which speaks to the laptop project itself. The initiative facilitates the provision of devices on loan to students of public schools to enhance digital literacy, personalized learning, and participation in AI-powered educational platforms. Any information collected in the course of the implementation of the initiative will be used solely for education, monitoring device usage, enhancing AI-driven learning outcomes, and improving teaching and learning processes. Again, the contract will speak to terms and conditions of use, in particular the responsibilities of parents, and you parents play a very important role, so I will emphasize it once again. The responsibilities are towards the care of the laptop to ensure that the laptop remains in good working condition, to avoid digital threats and other cybersecurity matters, and to ensure that students remain safe while using it and their health is maintained. The parent guardian agrees to accept responsibility for the proper care, cybersecurity, and safe use of the assigned device and all accessories as indicated below. And in the contract, you will see a table like this, and it will outline everything that comes within the package, its serial numbers, the amount you will get with each accessory, a description, whether or not it was received in good quality, and the model, which must be also completed. The parent guardian agrees that the device is provided strictly as an educational tool to support teaching, learning, digital skill development, and access to AI-based applications and resources. Its use will be guided by the National School Code of Conduct, technology and internet use. And of course, you can find the National School Code of Conduct on the ministry's website. The parent guardian agrees to be financially responsible for the repair or replacement of the assigned device and its accessories if damaged through negligence, malicious damage, or misuse, and to indemnify the Ministry of Education against any loss sustained. Replacement or reimbursement requirements will be determined by the Permanent Secretary following an investigation. In the event of a suspected theft, loss, or cybersecurity breach, the parent guardian must report the incident immediately to the nearest police station and to the ICT division of the Ministry of Education. And in the contract, you will find numbers of the ICT division at the Ministry of Education that you can contact either by phone or by email. And of course, it is important to contact them within 24 hours of the suspected theft or loss. The device and its accessories remain at all times the property of the Ministry of Education. The parent guardian agrees not to alter or disable AI monitoring tools, security features, or the operating systems installed by the Ministry of Education. Warranty, servicing, and updates will be managed by the Ministry of Education. The device comes with AI-driven educational platforms for personalized learning, homework assistance, and performance tracking. Parents and guardians must ensure responsibility and safe use of these features. The ministry reserves the right to require the return of the device and its accessories at any time. The parent guardian agrees to return same to the designated district office or school by the date indicated by the Ministry of Education. And of course, we want to share with you what the agreement execution looks like. Of course, it involves the permanent secretary who represents the Ministry of Education and you parents or guardians who must read the document, agree with it before signing it. And of course, it will contain information of both the parent and the student. So we want to show you a little bit about what that would look like. In witness whereof 4, the parties have caused this agreement to be executed the day and year first above written. And of course, the permanent secretary's name is there and date. The parent guardian's name is there and the signature of the receiving parent and guardian, contact number, email address, and of course, a form of valid identification, be it a passport, driver's permit, or national ID. And of course, the parent must include the date received. We are asking also in the contract for student information, the student's name, date of birth, address, and school that the student attends. Let's talk a little bit about what's in the device and its initial setup. You will receive, or your child will receive, a package, and in that package includes the laptop device, power adapter and charger, a protective sleeve or case, as well as there will be software to assist students in teaching and learning. Just some general reminders that we have been saying in all our sessions so far. Remember, it is important to care for the laptop and its accessories. And what does care look like? We are suggesting a couple things, but there are more things that we can add. For example, do not eat or drink around the laptop. Prevent its overheating. Do not use the laptop on a bed or rest it on the bed to use. Handle gently. Ensure that the laptop is clean. Put the laptop in places that are secure and supervised, and ensure that you protect the laptop against rising temperatures, which means, for example, don't put the laptop in the car and leave it in a heated car. It is very important that you care for the screen, and this care involves wiping the screen with a soft, dry cloth and not putting anything in the laptop when closing the screen, like a pen or a book or paper. When using the laptop at school, please ensure every day that the laptop is fully charged. And only use the Ministry of Education assigned email. Remember that the laptop should be used for educational purposes only. When you take the laptop at home, Please remind your children that the devices are to be used for learning. Parents, remember that you are responsible for the devices at all times. Let's talk a little bit about security and acceptable use, which involves not tampering with the devices to ensure that there are no security breaches and that the devices are used in appropriate ways and not for illegal activities. We want to share a little bit with you about repairs, technical support, and responsibilities. So, if there's something wrong with the device, it's damaged or has malfunctioned in some way, it is important to report that to a teacher or an ITC technician. Do not take the device to be repaired. Repairs will be managed by the Ministry of Education. Once the device is taken to an ICT technician for initial support, the technician will address such issues as login issues, configure software, or minor troubleshooting. In the event you suspect a theft or loss of the device, the parent must do two things. First, report it to the nearest police station and also report it to the ministry's ICT division. And this must be done within 24 hours of the suspected theft or loss. We have included the numbers of the ICT division here for you, as well as an email address so that it's easy to contact them. Let's talk the distribution of laptops. So I want to suggest three things to you before we begin to talk about the steps of distribution. The first is that you will be contacted by the school when it's time for the distribution of laptop for the school that your child attends. The school will be contacted by the Ministry of Education, providing them with the date of the laptop distribution. So parents, please wait for the school to contact you. And if there are any educators out here, please wait for the CEO's office to contact you about distribution details. Secondly, all hands are on board, meaning all teachers are to assist with the principal and ICT personnel in the distribution of the laptops. Schools will come up with their plan for the distribution of laptops. The distribution of laptops will take place in 4 steps. First, there will be the distribution of the device. Second, there will be the completion of the contract. Third, there will be the device enrollment. And finally, there will be the sign off and review. So let's start with the first step, which is the delivery of the devices. TT Post will deliver the devices to the school between 8 to 9 on the designated day. Following the delivery, there will be a verification process where the TT Post delivery personnel will wait until the ICT personnel and school personnel have verified the information and ensure that they have received all the laptops, checking the serial numbers. Once that is done, school personnel will get involved in getting ready for the distribution and ensuring everything is in place for a smooth and efficient distribution of laptops. The next step will happen around 10, where parents will read and sign the contracts. Of course, parents must attend schools with their children or their wards. The awards must be dressed in full, complete uniform, and parents dress appropriately, and they must present themselves with a form of valid ID. They will read and sign the contract in duplicate. One copy of the contract is for the parent and the other is for the ICT department, and present valid ID. Once that is done, the laptop will be provided for parents and students. When the laptop has been provided, step 3 occurs, which is on-site enrollment. The ICT technician will enroll each device into the ministry's network and ensure that please, principals, ensure that the Wi-Fi and the power outlets are available for this to occur. There's then a sign-off verification form, and once that is signed, the parent and the child can leave with the laptop. The last step involves collating and having a record of all the persons who collected laptops for the day, as well as contracts, identifying those laptops remaining, those students who have yet to collect their laptops, as well as identifying any dead on arrival units. So these are the forms that are required at the end of the day submission. There's to be a delivery note, which is to be scanned and immediately emailed after distribution. There are the parental contracts, one for the parent and one for the ITC person. There is to be a verification signed off form, which must be scanned and emailed on the same day. And then, of course, there is the end of the device status report, which must include the number of students who did not collect devices, the number of devices still on hand, and those that were dead on arrival devices. There is a document to come, which is the policy document, and we will be telling you more about that document. That document will be guidelines for the appropriate use of laptops in schools. ICT staff will be working hard on that day to ensure that all students receive laptops efficiently and effectively. There will be some ITC personnel who will not be assigned to a school. They will serve as roving support to ensure that every child receives a laptop efficiently and effectively. We want to thank you very much for your time. And before I go, I want to remind you of a couple things. Again, parents, the school will contact you and let you know what day your school will receive laptops. Educators, the Ministry of Education will contact you and let you know what day you will receive laptops. Parents and students are to be dressed appropriately. Students are to come in full uniform and parents are to be dressed appropriately. They are also to walk with their ID card to ensure the smooth flow of events. The document must be signed in duplicate, and all hands are on deck, meaning that teachers and administrators will work together to ensure that all laptops are distributed. Schools, of course, will come up with their plan for the distribution of the laptops. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Cronbooth, for sharing such an informative presentation. Participants, having heard the presentation, the floor is now open to your questions. Please type your questions into the Q&A chat. Our moderators will ensure your questions are addressed in an organized manner. We do have joining us Mr. Randy Narayan Singh, Senior Network Specialist from the ICT Division here at the Ministry of Education, who will be available to answer all of your questions. Please post your questions in the Q&A chat feature. To start off our round of questioning, we do have one question that is repeated in the chat that parents would like some clarification on. What level of students will be receiving the laptops? Just to confirm for parents. Mr. Narayan Singh, whenever you are ready, the floor is open to answer questions. Now, parents,
Sorry, could you just repeat the question?
sure, no problem. The question is, what level of students will be receiving the laptops? Just to clarify for parents.
The laptops will
Yes.
be given to all students who wrote SEA exam in 2025 and were placed in um, Form 1 in a secondary school.
Thank you, Mr. Narayan Singh. Another question is, will private school students who wrote the exam and are in Form 1 currently receive a laptop?
Once students, whether they are in a private institution, even life centers, um, government and government assisted schools, once they were placed by the Ministry of Education in a Form 1 setting, they would qualify for a laptop.
Thank you. Now, it was mentioned that some of the software will be installed on the computers, and parents are asking, will Microsoft 365 be one of them?
Every single student has an email account given by the Ministry of Education. Normally, you would see the student's name, their first name, last name at stu.edu.tt. The students will be using this email account to log into the device. Once they log into the device, they are automatically assigned based on the licenses that they have for their emails. They will have access to 365. So they will have access to the entire Microsoft product suite.
Thank you very much for informing us of that. And to follow up on the software that will be on the laptop, will there be something for monitoring proper usage of the laptops?
Yes, there will be content filtering. There is a certain level of autonomy because we do not want to stifle children and the educational process itself, the learning process itself. But yes, we will be monitoring in terms of we will be blocking certain types of sites. Um, but students more or less will have basically almost administrator level on the devices. But their usage, internet usage, the usage on the AI platform, metrics will be collected for further analysis by the Ministry of Education.
Thank you very much for your response. Now, some parents are asking, can someone else collect the laptop on behalf of the parent if the parent is unavailable to collect the laptop?
That they should mention this to the school principal or administrators prior to that and make the necessary arrangements before the day of the distribution itself.
Thank you. And will they be allowed to work with do they need to work with anything else beside a form of identification?
Yes, they would need to have an authorization letter too as well, together with a copy of the parent um, ID card, ID or identification, whether it be ID card, passport, or driver's permit.
Thank you so very much. And is there a cost associated with receiving the laptop?
There is no cost. It is absolutely free to all the Form 1 students.
Thank you very much for your response. Now, I do want to direct a question to Dr. Kronberg. How can parents protect their child against cyber-related issues that may arise?
That is an excellent question. We have done some sessions on cybersecurity, and your students will be receiving some information on cybersecurity, which will help with those digital threats.
Just to follow up on the digital threats and cyber awareness, will the devices come with up-to-date antivirus software?
Yes, it will. Based on the services that we have, there will be the device comes with one of the latest versions of Windows 11 education, and it does come with an updated antivirus and Defender threat protection.
Just to let you know, tomorrow between 5 and 6, we will be having a session on cyberbullying and digital footprints. And this will also help you protect your child against cyber threats by teaching you what to look out for. So we look forward to seeing you at that session tomorrow.
Thank you, Dr. Kranbig. Now, Mr. Narayan Singh, parents are also asking, will the laptops be checked for functionality before handing over to students?
Yes, the ICT technicians would be on site to ensure that the devices are properly working before the final handover to the students.
And to follow up with that, what should be the next step if a laptop has a technical issue or becomes damaged after it has been received?
In the very first instance, they are to report it to the ICT technical officer or the teacher assigned to the school in the very first phase. If it's something that can be sorted or repaired immediately, this will be done at the school level, which is tier 1. If it needs to be escalated to the second tier, we will then bring in the authorized vendors and their technicians in case we need replacement parts or we need to reinstall operating systems and things of that nature.
Thank you very much for your response. Now, I do have a question for Dr. Kronberg. Will students receive any training or guidance on how to use the laptop safely and responsibly?
Yes, just as we have planned sensitization sessions for parents, principals, and teachers, we have also planned sensitization sessions for students so that they can know what is appropriate use of the laptops and how best to use the laptops for teaching and learning.
Thank you, Dr. Kronberg. Parents are also asking Mr. Narayan Singh, if the laptop has to be returned after a particular period, or does it stay with the child for the duration of the secondary school tenure?
The device, while it is the property of the Ministry of Education, is assigned to the student.
Thank you. And to follow up on that, if a child transfers to another school, what happens to the laptop?
If a child transfers, they go with the laptop to that other school. What we would need to do is to ensure that in order to track the asset properly, right? The ICT technicians, the old principal or administrators of the school provide us with the relevant information, um, the student name, the serial number of the device, the school that they are being transferred to, so that we can make the necessary adjustments in the background to ensure that we are able to track all devices properly.
Thank you, sir. And parents would just like some reiteration. Are students allowed to carry the laptops home?
Yes, definitely. They are allowed to carry the laptops at home.
Are you at liberty to share any of the specs of the laptops with our participants?
Yes, I am. So I can tell you all, personally, today I actually was fortunate enough to look at the very first set of devices. They came to the Ministry of Education ICT department. It's a um, it's a very high-end device in terms of the specifications. Right, it comes with Windows 11, education. Right, there is, for some of you all who are more tech savvy, it's a Ryzen 5 processor. There's 16 gig of DDR5 RAM. It's a 14-inch screen. It comes with Wi-Fi 6, Bluetooth enabled, front-facing camera. Um, there is also, um, it also comes, I know Dr. Kronberg had said, it's the laptop. You also get a laptop bag and also a headset for the students as well.
Thank you, Mr. Narayan Singh. Parents were asking about the accessories that will come with the laptop, so thank you for answering that question.
Sure, no problem. Additionally, too, as well, we have also catered for our special needs students, and they will also be provided with some additional specialized equipment to help with their learning process as well.
Just another question on the software that will be installed on the laptops, whether they will contain resources for learning that are approved by the Ministry of Education for the various subject areas. Some parents are asking an example of what the software can be.
Yes, definitely. Currently, as it is, the platform is tailored for math, and they are including English too as well, um, which should be online when school resumes for the beginning of the second term. Right? It has been vetted by the Ministry of Education and has been approved for use in schools for educational purposes.
So our final question, just to reiterate for parents who are asking, what will happen if a child's laptop is stolen or damaged beyond repair? What are the steps that a parent should take?
If let me start. If a device is stolen, right, as Dr. Kronberg had mentioned, within 24 hours, you have to make a police report. As soon as possible, please let ICT department know. We have the ability to also track the devices. So it may be very well that we can actually pinpoint exactly where the device is before the before it's probably reformatted or it's scrapped down and sold. Then it will be very difficult. If a device is damaged, now there is a 3-year warranty, right? If it is damaged and it falls within the parameters of the warranty, yes, it will be either replaced or it will be repaired. However, if it is due to negligence and the ICT technician can confirm that the damage occurred because of this negligence, then it will be the responsibility of the parents to ensure that the device is either repaired or replaced.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Narayan Singh. Thank you, participants, for your questions. If it was not answered in today's session, more information will be made available to you soon. To bring us closing remarks, please join me in warmly welcoming Mrs. Simone Williams, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Education.
Thank you all for being part of today's sensitization session. Your engagement, whether as parents, teachers, principals, or students, shows us how deeply we all value the future of our children. Today's session was designed to build shared understanding of the program's expectations, the responsibilities attached to each device, and the procedures that will guide distribution and safe use. This is just the beginning. As we move through the next phases of cybersecurity training, device orientation, and the introduction of digital tools, we will continue working together to ensure that our students can fully benefit from this national investment. Parents, we thank you for partnering with us to support safe use at home. Teachers and school leaders, your readiness and leadership are essential as we integrate ICT meaningfully into teaching and learning. And to our students, this program is for you. We trust that you will use these devices to learn boldly, explore widely, and grow responsibly. Let us continue working together to shape a digitally empowered generation. Thank you once again and have a wonderful afternoon. Thank you.
Let me take this opportunity to thank PS Simone Williams for the closing remarks and to extend special thanks to Mr. Randy Narayan Singh, Senior Network Specialist, ICT Division, for engaging in the Q&A session, to Dr. Carla Kronberg for her valuable insight and for guiding us through today's topic, the laptop rollout, policies and procedures. Before you leave, we'd love to hear your feedback. Please click the link in the chat to complete the evaluation form. Your insights are invaluable in helping us improve future webinars. To our attendees, thank you most sincerely for your participation in today's session. Kindly note that our upcoming session on the topic of cyberbullying and digital footprint will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, 26th November at 5 p.m. Do visit the Ministry of Education at moe.gov.tt for details on future training sessions. And on behalf of the Ministry of Education, do have a wonderful evening.